Hi guys, John here with Lincoln Industrial, bringing you the latest tips and troubleshooting advice for our products. In today's video, we're going to show you the proper procedure to load a grease cartridge and prime a grease gun. Whether you have a lever or pistol grip manual gun, pneumatic or power lube or electronic grease gun, the priming process is the same for them all. If this is the first time using your gun, begin by unthreading the grease tube assembly from the head of the grease gun. Next, pull down on the T-handle and using the notch in the rod, lock it into the tube end cap. Tube is now ready to accept the cartridge. Before inserting the cartridge, inspect for any dents or crushed ends. Do not use tubes if these issues are found, as they may cause the follower assembly to hang up in the tube or cause lubricant bypass behind the follower. Also be sure to follow the instructions on the tubes. Many of the reputable manufacturers will designate which end of the cartridge should be inserted into the grease gun tube assembly first. Once the cartridge is seated in the tube, pull the tab or remove the male plug from the exposed end and thread the tube assembly back onto the head of the gun. When the tube assembly is fully tightened, release the plunger rod from the end cap notch. This allows the spring to push up on the follower assembly and apply pressure on the grease in the cartridge. At this point, there will be a decent sized air pocket between the cartridge and gun head inlet we need to remove, and this can be accomplished in two ways. First method uses the installed filler bleeder valve or vent valves located on the heads of many of our grease guns. Open the ports a few turns and allow the air to vent until grease expels from the threads or vent port. After grease begins to flow from the ports, tighten the valves back up and cycle the gun. Second method was meant mainly for grease guns without vents, but does apply as an alternate priming method for all our grease guns. Unthread the grease tube assembly 1 to 2 turns to allow the air pocket to escape through the threads between the grease gun head and tube assembly. You may expedite either process by locking the plunger rod into the follower assembly so more pressure may be applied to the grease in order to force the air out the vent or tube assembly threads. Stop when you see either grease expel from the threads or vent, or the rod has no more forward movement. Once complete, tighten the tube to the head or close the vent and cycle the gun. With the air bled and grease flowing correctly from the coupler, apply a small amount of pressure to the plunger rod and twist until the rod freely slides into the grease tube assembly. With the rod in place and out of the way, the gun is ready for use. A few points to consider concerning the lubricant when operating your grease gun. If the lubricant you are using is very tacky or thick, this process may take a little longer. This is especially true if working in a cold environment. Some greases tend to flow slower than normal and possibly lead to loss of prime. In this case, cycle your gun slowly, allowing for full strokes of the handle for manual units. Reduce your air pressure down if using a pneumatic gun, or set electronic power lubers to the low setting, and allow a little more time for the grease to enter the chamber. If necessary, pre-pack the gun head to leave as little of an air pocket as possible. Then follow the final priming steps to reprime your gun, and you'll be ready to go. That'll do it for this video. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us at the information below. Also, please be sure to check the video description for additional information and links to our website. If you like this video and would like to see any future tutorials and relevant Lincoln product information, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to receive a message when we upload new and exciting videos. I am John with the Lincoln Tech Support Team. Thanks for watching and see you next time.